welcome to Falcon Update live on MC77. I'm Allie Hufford.
And I'm Mario Cosentino.
Sustainability and environmentally friendly actions are important on any college campus, but they're a big part of what we do here at Messiah. Here's Mario Cosentino with more.
Messiah College students continue to participate in the nationwide Recycle Mania competition throughout the month of March. Through initiatives like this compost pile that you see behind me, the Office of Sustainability is doing their best to reduce, reuse, and recycle, and they're encouraging Messiah students to do the same. Sustainability is a multifaceted issue, and to tackle this issue head-on, the Office of Sustainability integrates the big idea of taking care of creation through 5 main big ideas of energy, engagement, waste, biodiversity, and food. Their main focus, however, is to educate students and get them involved in sustainability on campus. Students have plenty of opportunities on campus to recycle. As you see here at the Union, the Office of Sustainability has done a great job labeling each of these bins and help students to recycle the right way. Organics is food and Union to-go containers. Recycling is paper and any plastic that is clean, dry, and is a number 1, 2, or 5. And lastly, we have landfill, which is pretty much anything that doesn't go in the first 2 bins, but it's important to notice that this plastic, because it is 6, it is thrown away and not recycled. Students wanting to get involved in sustainability outside of recycling have plenty of ways to do so.
If you just want to get involved, like volunteer some of your time, you can email us at sustainability@messiah.edu, and we can get you plugged in. We have a tree planting coming up. We'll have garden volunteer days. You can help us out with our chickens. We have some Recycle Mania things going on right now, all of which we have plenty of room for more hands to help us out.
As you can see by looking at the solar panels behind me, Messiah College is doing their part to make Messiah a more sustainable campus. Now the Office of Sustainability is partnering with students so they can do their part. I'm Mario Cosentino, sending it back to the desk.
We'll have a Rachel McLaren from Sustainability on MC Live later tonight, so stay tuned for that. And now it's time for Falcon on the Street, where we ask Messiah students a different question each week. Here's Kelsey McCann with this week's question.
Government, vice president and president elections right around the corner, we run around asking students what issue on campus they would like to see addressed.
It's not a huge issue, but I just would love to have more picnic tables around campus to do homework outside. Right now I only know of probably 5 or less picnic tables on campus, and I think it would be really nice to have more out, especially with the new green space that we're going to have next year, giving students an opportunity to do their homework outside in a different environment.
Next semester, I would like to see improved seatings in the library and other places around campus for academics.
I'd like to see just more opportunities on campus for students to connect with other students that are in a different grade level. So for freshmen to be able to connect with seniors more, or juniors to be able to connect with sophomores more, and so on.
The handicap parking needs fixed. It is not useful or conducive to actually get to class. What they have right now feels more like a temporary situation.
Commuters, for one, should be able to park at least a little closer, maybe within the vicinity of campus, so we don't have to walk so far out of our way.
I think that we should use other travel opportunities such as Powerhouse to go with that.
They should be addressed as visitation policies, just because in the nursing major, there's only 5 or 6 guys in our class, and so it's harder for them to get to study with the rest of the girls on weeknights and stuff like that.
So I think that we should improve Wi-Fi because it has been kind of a struggle the last semester or 2, trying to get homework done, and I think it would just greatly improve the environment of doing homework and just overall Messiah.
That's it for this week's Falcon on the Street. Make sure to come to the Union at 6:30 on Wednesday to see the debate. I'm Kelsey McCann.
Thanks, Kelsey. Remember that you can stay connected with MC77 and Falcon on the Street on our social media pages. We'll be discussing those issues and more during our Student Government Town Hall on March 23rd, so be sure to tune in. Did you know that Messiah has an esports team? Here's Allie Hufford to tell us more.
Some students call Mellinger Apartments home, while others consider it a practice space. Messiah's esports team just took off this past year. We have 3 teams on campus: Hearthstone, Overwatch, and League of Legends, and each team member has earned their spot by trying out.
Obviously, when you're playing online, you want to win, But when you're going against other people in tournaments, other teams, like those people have also tried out and have proven that for their school they are the best or one of the better players at their school in the first place. So like everyone you play has earned their spot to play against you and for the team they're playing. So it just feels a lot more competitive.
The teams really started taking shape halfway through last semester, and they've already represented Messiah in a tournament. The competition is fierce, but many of these students enjoy that environment.
It's a lot more exciting to play with the team. It's also challenging in different ways, working with different people, but it's a lot more fun. It's like nice to have stakes.
Right next to the practice room in Mellinger C, there's a game lounge that's open to all students. You don't have to be an official gamer to enjoy this space.
So the lounge is open for all students. It really just opened. There's some hours that we set that anybody can come by and hang out, play. We have 2 switches, play some Smash, play some in Mario Kart. We'll get more games, but bring your board games. Bring your mobile laptop devices, come and hang out, meet other like-minded gamers. A lot of us are esports minded, but we have board gamers too. So this is the place to be now that it's available.
The lounge has hours throughout the week, and everyone is invited to participate. For MC77, I'm Allie Hufford.
We'll have Coach Teresa Gaffney on MC Live tonight. But in the meantime, we'll be right back with the weekly sports roundup on Falcon Update. Stay tuned.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This is the Grantham Community Garden. We grow over 40 different crops here, all grown organically, all by students, always student-led. We're one of the most profitable student organizations on campus. Everything that we grow here we sell, and that keeps the garden going and also pays the people who work in it. And now we're trying to work our way towards being a small farm. We have more paid student workers than we've ever had before.
My name is Curtis Seaman. I'm a senior journalism major. So my entire life, I've really enjoyed writing, really enjoyed sports. I thought that if I combined the two, sports journalism would be the perfect major for me. I feel very prepared for post-graduation with practicum. That's been a huge help. You have to participate in 3 different mediums of communication, media, throughout the class period. And to be able to do things like radio and television and writing has just kind of really helped to broaden my horizons. In terms of writing, I'm also excited to use all of those skills that I've learned as well. Obviously, the professors here in the communication department are fantastic, and they really know how to get you to drill down and get you to write the best that you possibly can. In a senior sem, Dr. Dixon prays before every class, and a lot of other professors do that. To be able to pray in class, to be able to talk about faith-based things, it's just huge, and I really have appreciated that all 4 of my years here at Messiah. So right now I'm interning at WGAL 8 in Lancaster, which is just a TV station, NBC affiliate. The hours are a little rough. They're from 4 in the morning until noon, but that's also been a look ahead of what it's going to be like in my career in the future, so that's been also a good experience. For MC77, my sophomore year was the first year I did. I started on camera, moved to floor manager. I've done everything from camera to producing, executive producing, anchoring, VTR, audio. You can do pretty much any role. They're more than willing to give you the chance to make mistakes, but also to learn, because the time is now to make mistakes before you go out and are working for a real television station. MC77 has definitely given me a ton of great experience and prepared me for what's to come with that, and I'm excited to use that more within bigger TV stations and more live television day in and day out.
What?
The women's basketball team took on the Stevenson Mustangs on Wednesday in the conference semifinals. We're here in the second quarter, and the Falcons are leading. Leah Springer gets the ball. She goes for the layup but misses, and Brooke Brynick gets the rebound, and it's good. Now, still in the second period, Grace Cryan passes off to Springer, and she gets the three-pointer. Here we are in the fourth quarter. The Falcons have the Mustangs by almost double. Amber High sprints down the court and gets the ball to Bree Swan, and she gets the layup in. And the Falcons beat Stevenson 78-44. They'll be back on the court Saturday to take on the Albright Lions in the MAC Commonwealth Championship game.
Women's basketball team claimed their fourth straight MAC Commonwealth title with a decisive win over Albright College on Saturday evening in Hitchcock Arena. This win against the Lions, however, would not come easy. Here we are in the first quarter. Falcons down by 5. Jay Davis drives, puts it in with a one-handed layup. Now the third quarter, Davis and Springer get 2 consecutive three-pointers to put some distance on the line. Springer, with seconds left on the clock, makes it look easy. Albright closes the gap, but not before Elena Eckley shoots a 3 of her own. Minutes left on the clock. Madison Ike was a part of the action. Falcons would win with a final score of 78-69. Leah Springer led the team with 27 points, and she was named the tournament MVP after already being named the MAC Conference Player of the Year and breaking the 1,000-point barrier with that win. Messiah earned a spot in the NCAA tournament. They'll play Keystone College on Friday.
The women's lacrosse team went up against the Dickinson Red Devils on Wednesday. And the Falcons are trailing here at the end of the first. Grace Gormley drives it into the back of the net for her 4th goal of the season. And now in the second half, and the two teams are tied at 7 apiece, Rachel DeLake gets the ball over to Amanda Wadsworth, and she gets it into the net. Now just 2 minutes left, and the Falcons are trailing. Abby Howard gets a clear shot, and she sends the ball to the back of the net. Now tied up with less than 30 seconds to go, JoJo King gets the ball to Gormley, and she gives the Falcons their winning goal. Messiah beat Dickinson 12-11, and they'll be back in action on Wednesday against Franklin and Marshall.
The men's lacrosse team dropped their home opener to Stockton University on Wednesday night. Falcons had a strong start against the Ospreys, but in the second half, they were too much for the Falcons. Minutes into the game, Garrett Amsbaugh down the left side, jukes past 2 defenders, puts Messiah on the board first. The Ospreys tried to answer right away, denied by Jacob Van Stocken goal. Stockton up by 4 in the third quarter. Falcons tried to chip away at the lead. Liam Lilenthal with the hook-around shot, his 2nd goal of the day. Now we see freshman R.J. Miller drives down the field, goes for the high shot. That's the first goal of his collegiate career. It was too late for a comeback because the game would end moments later. Stockton bested the Falcons 8-11. Messiah got off to a rough and 0-3 start to their season. They will be back in action this Wednesday when they host Elizabethtown at 7 p.m.
The wrestling team hosted the Southeastern Regional Tournament on Friday and Saturday. In order to qualify for nationals, wrestlers needed to finish in the top 3 of their respective weight classes. On Friday, the Falcons powered 5 into the semifinals. Sean Reddington, Josiah Gare, Stephen Maloney, Brian Schermeyer, and David Stevens all dominated their way into the semifinals. Garrett Cornell, Matt Pangle, and Carter Urich were fighting their way back through the consolation bracket and guaranteed themselves a top 8 finish.
The second day of the Southeastern Regional proved to be promising for the Falcons. Sean Reddington wrestled the match of the tournament in the semifinals, winning 15-13 over his opponent from Washington and Lee. David Stevens also advanced to the finals via an overtime victory over his opponent from Alvarez University. Garrett Cornell, Stephen Mahoney, and Brian Schermeyer all had to battle back to claim 3rd place. In all, 5 Falcons punched their tickets to nationals. Nationals are in Cedar Rapids, Iowa on March 13th and 14th.
The men's track team traveled to Reading to compete in the MAC Indoor Track and Field Championship. Messiah picked up top 5 finishes in 3 events. Chris Muchimba, Caleb Puleo, Caleb Christner, and Josiah Zaire took 5th in the 4x200 meter relay. The distance medley relay team, made up of Logan Hurst, Ryan Thurber, Matthew Royer, and Alex Sheeb, earned 4th in their event. Nate Romberger also placed at 4th in the 5,000 meter. The Falcons finished the day in 6th place.
Women's track team got off to a fast start on Friday in day one of the MAC Indoor Championships. The 4x200 relay was the highlight of the night as the quartet of Catherine Wiederack, Ellie Longshaw, Julia Geisheimer, and Alyssa Slater won the event with the school record time of 1:46.81. Second place finished in the distance medley relay, and a podium finish for Sarah Codd in the 5,000 meter run put the Falcons at 3rd in the standings, heading to day 2 of the championships.
We'll have day 2 of the MAC Championships and more spring sports coming up next. Stay tuned.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes. I
Right?
mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
The second day of MAC Championships ended up being a strong day for the men's track team. Messiah earned 7 top 10 marks. Matthew Royer highlighted the championship for the Falcons, taking 3rd place in the 800 meter. On the field, Josh Zaire placed 4th in the pole vault. Chris Muchimba turned in 2 top 10 finishes, one for the 60 meter and another for the 200 meter. The Falcons took 8th place in the competition.
After a solid 2 days of competition, women's track team finished as the runner-up to Eastern University, trailing behind the Eagles by only 7.5 points. As already mentioned earlier in the show, Catherine Wiederack had a stellar day in the hurdle and sprinting events, picking up 3 gold and 2 silver medals. Sophomore Esther Seelan repeated as champion in the 800-meter run, the mile, and the 4x8 relay. Seelan showed off her range by placing 3rd in the 400-meter run, right behind teammate Alyssa Slater, who finished 2nd. 2 first-years found their way on the podium on the track after personal best performances. Chloe Wester placed 8th in the mile, and Olivia Corey placed 6th in the 800 by running a strong race from the slow heat. Taylor Wiederack led the Falcons' efforts in the field by defending her title in the pentathlon and by placing 2nd in the long jump. Senior Lila Goodall led the throws with a huge PR in the shot put, which was good for 6th place. Some of the Falcons will take to the track once again on March 7th when they travel to Boston for the Tufts National Qualifying Meet.
The baseball team traveled to Mary Washington for a doubleheader on Saturday. In Game 1, Messiah scored 4 runs in the 4th inning to take a 5-1 lead. After 2 RBIs by Mary Washington, the Falcons shut down the comeback. Luke Lukenbaugh tossed the final 2 innings, only allowing 1 base runner to solidify the victory 5-3.
In Game 2, the Falcons fell behind 5-2 in the 4th inning. In the top of the 5th inning, Chris LaRose brought the game to within 1 on a 2 RBI single. That was close as the Falcons would get, though. The Eagles would take the game 6-4. Falcons will be back on the diamond on Monday against F&M.
The softball team played a doubleheader as well this weekend against the Catholic University of America Cardinals. Jordan Holman scored the first run for the Falcons in the 1st inning off a hit from Isabel Cease. The Falcons would make it onto the board again in the 4th inning when Cease hit a home run. The third and final run for the Falcons would be in the 5th inning. Holman grounded a ball and Mackenzie Tebbs was able to score. Messiah beat Catholic University 3-1 in the first game.
In the second game of the doubleheader against the Cardinals, Falcons ran into some trouble early on, but timely hitting helped Messiah add two wins to their season. The Cardinals took the early lead, but a hit from Olivia Denmark evened out the score. Messiah had an opportunity to score again in the top of the 6th, but 2 strikeouts and a scoreless 7th forced extra innings. 3 straight singles on the top of the 8th, followed by a double gave Messiah 3 points. Pitcher Rebecca Pais shut down the Cardinals in the bottom of the 8th, giving the Falcons the 4-1 win. They improved their record to 2-4 and will host their first home game of the season on Tuesday afternoon against Susquehanna University.
Want to know what students, professors, and alums are up to? Curious about the week ahead? Falcon features and campus calendar are coming up next. Stay tuned to MC.
Welcome back to MC77. Here's this week's campus calendar. Over spring break, the residence halls and apartments will be locked from noon on Saturday, March 14th until 8 a.m. on Saturday, March 21st. Residential students can stay during break in their rooms, apartments, or special interest houses, but must register to stay on campus. Students who do not register will not have swipe card access for the apartments and residence halls. After March 8th, there will be a $10 late fee for anyone who still has to register for swipe card access. On Tuesday, March 3rd, the Career and Professional Development Center will be hosting Pizza with Professionals. John Bowman, a 1998 Messiah College graduate, will be on campus to talk with students about his career as an ATF agent. The event will run from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. RSVP on the Career and Professional Development Center's website. On Wednesday, March 4th at 4:15 p.m., in Boyer 131, the College Honors Program is hosting the speaker Dr. Paul D. Miller. Dr. Miller's speech is titled Christianity, National Identity, and America's Role in the World. Americans and Christians have had different answers to a lot of important questions throughout the course of American history. Dr. Miller will be here to answer some of those questions. Dr. Miller is currently a professor of the practice of international affairs at Georgetown University School of Foreign Service. Grab your friends and come out to hear this interesting talk about something important to Christian Americans. The Multicultural Council and Career and Professional Development Center are hosting a career panel and networking event on Wednesday, March 4th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. in Boyer 131. The panel will consist of a group of alumni sharing their experiences on transitioning from college to workplace, navigating job searching, and preparing for interviews. Following the panel will be an opportunity to network with the alumni. So, bring your friends and your resume. The men's and women's tennis teams are putting on a fundraiser at Chipotle. Grab dinner at Chipotle in Camp Hill between 5 and 9 p.m. on Tuesday, March 3rd. 33% of the proceeds will be donated to the men's and women's tennis teams. This week is election week for student body president and vice president. On Wednesday, March 4th, SGA is hosting debate night at the Union from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Come out to hear more from the candidates on their visions and plans, and bring your hard-hitting questions. Voting will then open online following the conclusion of the debate and will stay open until 8 p.m. on Friday night. All undergraduate students, including current seniors, are eligible to vote. That's all for this week's campus calendar. I'm Brian Schermeyer.
I'm Mario Cosentino with this week's Falcon Features. After serving Messiah for over 25 years, Paula Maynard, the Associate Registrar for the School of Graduate Studies, will be leaving Messiah for a position at the Penn State Harrisburg Registrar. Maynard's last day at Messiah will be on March 6th. The administration is grateful for her expertise and hard work while at Messiah and wishes her the best in this new position. Assistant Professor of Finance Dwayne Safer spoke at the Economist Investing for Impact Conference, which was held on February 12th in New York City. Safer was a part of the Impact for Generations panel, which addressed investing trends and growing movement of faith-based investing in Generation Z. Communication major Jenny Woolley was chosen to present her senior honors project at 2 conferences in the spring. In March, she will present at the National Conference for Undergraduate Research in Montana. In April, she will speak at the Eastern Communication Association in Baltimore, where she will be named to the top undergraduate paper. Recent dual communication English major Hannah Raoult was accepted to present her paper at the National Humanities Research Symposium in Baltimore. Raoult's paper is titled The Third Culture Kid's Guide to Making Friends, Qualitative Comparison of Self-Disclosure Tendencies of Military Dependents and Missionary Kids. It's quite a busy weekend for Messiah Athletics here at Messiah, with 4 teams competing in the postseason championships. Here are some of the athletes who stood out over the weekend. After breaking the 1,000-point barrier earlier this year, Leah Springer is making news once again. This time, she was awarded the MAC Commonwealth Women's Basketball Player of the Year, and she was named to the first All-MAC team. After being named the Player of the Year on Friday, Springer led her team to win over Albright for the team title as well. Catherine Wiederack of the women's track team was named the MAC Track Athlete of the Year after a record-breaking showing at the conference championships on Saturday. Wiederack won the 200-meter dash and 4x200 relay, setting records in both events. She also picked up a win in the 4x400 relay and 2 silver medals, one in the 60 and one in the high hurdles. Her efforts helped the Falcons secure 130 points to finish second behind Eastern University. That's all we have for this week. Tune in next week to hear more accomplishments of Messiah students, faculty, and alum.
Thanks, Brian and Mario. Now let's check in with Kelsey McCann for MC Live. What have we got lined up tonight, Kelsey?
Tonight we've got guests from esports, sustainability, and a musical performance from Melissa Pye, Daniel Gubin, and Michael Florio.
Sounds like it'll be an exciting one.
It's going to be a great show. Stay tuned.
I sure will. That's all we have for this week's Falcon Update. For Ali Hufford, I'm Mario Cosentino. Have a great night.
I'm Lily. I am a junior, and I am a broadcasting and media production major at Messiah College. I chose to be a broadcasting and media production major because as a little girl, I dreamt of being a TV anchor. There are so many opportunities you can have as a broadcasting major. Messiah is really unique in the fact that we have our own TV station and it's student-led. So each week we have Falcon Update, which is a half hour, and then we have MC Live, which is a half hour as well. My favorite part is just being in the hustle and bustle of everything, and I'm really excited to just be creative when I'm putting together news packages or shooting other stories, just really getting every element of storytelling in my work. So we have a lot of faith-based projects. Right now we're working on one, it's called Faith Sides for multimedia storytelling. In pairs we're interviewing each other for 2 minutes about some aspect of faith. A lot of students from our major either intern at ABC77 or WGAL. I shadowed one of my professors at a Hershey Bears game. The Bears are a local AHL hockey team, and through that experience I developed connections and eventually I got a job there. So I run the Crossfire machine and the LEDs on game days. My freshman year at Messiah, when I first came, I knew absolutely nothing about broadcasting or media, and now I feel confident that I can go work at a TV news station.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Good evening and welcome to MC Live here on MC77. I'm Brian Schermeyer.
And I'm Kelsey McCann. Tonight we have a packed show. Up first tonight we have Alyssa Pye, Daniel Gavin, and Michael Florio performing 2 cover songs for us.
Following them, we will have Caitlin Beam and Rachel McLaurin from the Sustainability Office to give us an update on how Recyclemania is going.
Our final guest is eSport coach Teresa Gaffney and Tim Meseradino from the League of Legends team. They are here to give us an insight on the official team and how the team are settled in after being officiated. Stick around with us and we'll be right back after the break. We're in MC77 where we are joined by Alyssa Pye, Daniel Gavin, and Michael Florio. Take it away, guys.
They perform music. Great job. But they don't have a uke.
It's a beautiful thing. Hugging, kissing, laughing, holding hands. Love is a beautiful thing. Unless it's you loving another man. And I can't stand to see you hugging, kissing, laughing, holding hands. If it's not me you see, how could that be a thing of beauty? Love is a beautiful thing. Birds are singing songs down from the winter's rage has softened into spring. Love is a beautiful thing, and on your hand I see that there's a ring, and I would understand if I had put that ring upon your hand. But it's not me, it seems. How could that be a thing of beauty? How could that be a thing of beauty? Well, it's been building up inside of me for, oh, I don't know how long. I don't know why, but I keep on thinking something's bound to go wrong. But she looks in my eyes and makes me realize when she says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby. I know I should have kept my mouth shut when I start to brag upon my part. But I can't back down now, 'cause I've pushed the other guys too far. And she makes me come alive and makes me wanna drive when she says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. And don't worry, baby. Oh, she told me, baby, when you race today, just take along my love with you. And if you knew how much I love you, baby, nothing could go wrong with you. Oh, what she does to me when she says she loves me, when she says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. And don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. And don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. When we come back, Brian will be here with Caitlin Beam and Rachel McLaren to help us continue our Recyclemania goals here on campus. Stick around after the break.
back here on MC77 with Caitlin Beam and Rachel McLaren. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good, awesome. So just starting off, could you tell me like what your roles are within the sustainability office?
Yeah, so I'm the garden coordinator at the Office of Sustainability.
And then I'm the engagement coordinator.
Okay, and what do you guys, like what do your jobs consist of?
Yeah, so over the summer I ran the campus garden, and that was also in the spring and has continued through the fall. And we're about to start the garden back up now in March and April. And so basically we grow produce, sell produce, and yeah, take care of the bees, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then for my job with engagement, I'm in charge of social media. I do different talks with like CCC classes and all sorts of stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So you actually had to stay over the summer?
Yeah.
Did you have to stay as well, Caitlin?
No, I'm just during the school year.
Okay, that's nice. Did you like it, like being here over the summer, just working on the garden?
Yeah, we had a lot of fun actually. It was a challenging job, but it made me have a greater appreciation for farmers and like agriculture in general. Yeah.
Awesome. So back to sustainability. What is sustainability in your own words?
Ooh, that's a hard question. Sustainability is a lot of things, but I think for me, how I interpret it is it's a greater understanding of nature and the earth, as well as social justice, and just combining like living sustainably in terms of like saving water, that kind of thing, with like treating people right and like doing socially just things like climate strikes or like that kind of thing, and putting those two together.
Yeah.
You have anything to add on to that?
Yeah, I think just like she said it pretty well, but then just like having a really holistic view of life and how things work and how the impact that you have on where you are kind of trickles down and can impact a lot of other people as well.
Gotcha. So you guys are in the midst of Recycle Mania right now. So this week's theme was Recover. What does that mean to you guys? Where did you get that from?
So there are standard themes for each week, and this week is Recover, as you said, and that's basically a focus on reducing food waste, and that is a zoom in on the composting system we have here, and then also the food recovery network.
Okay. So is Recycle Mania like a national competition, and like if so, like how do you like judge that?
Yeah, so each college enters their data. So for example, we put in the data that we get for pounds of compost each week, and then we enter that in and see how we compare to other colleges. So for example, we're 18th out of 140 for composting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, doing pretty well with that. How exactly do you measure, like outside of the composting, how do you measure how sustainable we are on campus?
That's a great question. So generally when it comes to different things, sustainability, we look at the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And then from there, we kind of break it down because sustainability is so many different things and covers so many different areas. And the way you measure it in one situation might give you a different look on what's going on than if you did it in a different way. And so it's pretty broad, but for example, like right now we have a program going for all of the apartment buildings except for Kelly on energy recording because each of the apartments are sub-metered, and so people have a chance to opt in and see how much energy that their apartment's using. And so that's just one example of how we kind of measure like what kind of waste is happening on campus. And granted, not all electricity use is waste, but just to kind of see if you can reduce it at all.
Oh, that's really cool. So taking a step back, what got you two originally into sustainability?
Yeah, so I actually was not a sustainability major when I came to Messiah, and then after I saw our programs, what we had here, I switched. And so being a sustainability major and then my interest in the beekeeping we have here, so we have a couple hives down across the railroad tracks, and so I started interning with the office to help with the bees, and then I ended up being the garden coordinator. So through my classes and my work with the office, I've had a greater appreciation for sustainability.
Oh, that's a good gig.
Yeah.
And then for me, I also was not a sustainability major when I came to Messiah. But through talking to some friends that were sustainability majors and just getting to know a little bit more about what it is. And actually being in CCC class was actually kind of what pushed me over into it. I just love the connection between faith and like creation care and caring for people really well and looking at it more than just, okay, what can we give this person to make them like be better, but like looking at the situation that people are in and looking at the situation our planet's in and what we're called to as Christians.
Yeah, that's really cool. So back to the sustainability office. I know you guys have Recyclemania going on right now. Do you have any other events coming up in the near future?
Yes, April 6th we're having a tree planting, and so we had one in the fall also where we planted 180 trees and that went really well. But this spring, April 6th, we're going to be planting 500 trees. So we need as much help as possible, so sign up.
So anybody can do that?
Anybody.
Do they just go to the sustainability office to sign up? Or?
Yeah, and we'll also probably have an email out, so if you respond to that.
Yeah, and in addition to that, on March 27th, we're going to be having another Swap and Mend event where you can bring clothes and take clothes, and it's a lot of fun. And then on Wednesday for Recyclemania, we have an event from 11 to 1 about Recover, and looking, if you want more information on that, you can go to that as well. And it'll be outside of our office near the Falcon.
Okay, awesome. What needs do you guys focus on here at Messiah, like as far as sustainability goes?
So we have 5 different positions in our office, and so Rachel is in charge of food, I'm in charge of engagement, and we have people on waste, so kind of in charge of Recyclemania, energy, and then biodiversity, which is kind of the tree planting and looking at like what's here on campus and how can we support it so that it's healthy. And so each of us have a lot of different things that we work on. We can do different projects, and so some of those have included like working on lighting in the pit to try to turn it over to LED lights so that we're using less energy as a college, which will eventually kind of pay itself off. We also have the tree planting, like Rachel was talking about, and Rachel did a great job with the garden this past year, and so she's gearing up for another season. So those are a lot of the big things.
Yeah, and as far as the garden's concerned, do you sell the produce here on campus? Do you give it out to students? Like, how does that work?
Well, for the past couple years, we've been going to Dillsburg Farmers Market, which has been really awesome. And we also do campus markets right outside our office in Eisenhower. But then this summer, we're going to be starting CSA, which is Community Supported Agriculture. And that's basically like subscribing to a box of produce each week. And so you just pay one fee for the whole summer, and then you get weekly produce.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a really good idea. So thank you guys so much for coming on. Don't go anywhere. After the break, esports coach Teresa Gaffney and Ryan Bonus will be giving us the inside scoop to what goes into the esports team here at Messiah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome back to MC Live here in MC77, where I'm joined by Teresa Gaffney and Tim Meseradino. How are you guys?
Great.
Doing very well.
Cool. Just to catch everyone up, can you explain what esports is?
Well, esports quickly is just competitive video games for a spectator audience. So basically what you're doing when you're watching sports, except we're using video games as the interim material.
All right. So what video games do you guys play as a team?
Right now we have 5 different sports right now. So we have League of Legends, Overwatch, Rocket League, Hearthstone, and we're getting Smash, I think, is the next one.
We're building up a scene for that, yeah.
Super
So
Smash
right
Brothers,
now we
so-
have 4 active teams. We have League, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and we have Rocket League.
All right. And what do those different teams look like?
So each of the teams are composed of different pods. For League of Legends, it's a team of 5. Overwatch is a team of 6. Rocket League has a team of 4. And Hearthstone, it really is, it's more of a one-on-one kind of game, but we do play as kind of like a communitive pod. So I think we have 3 members right now that are a part of the Hearthstone team.
Correct.
That are playing against 3 other members of the opposing team there. So.
Right. So what does a tournament normally look like for you guys?
So I think tournaments for each game look a little different. They have different tournament formats. But Tim could give you a little bit of an idea of the Collegiate League of Legends season that just ended and his experience.
So we've played in a few different tournaments throughout the throughout CLOL, as we call it, College League of Legends. You compete in different blocks. So different schools you face off. We'll either do a set of 3, block of 3, or best of 5, depending on I guess competitive level. Each team has a specific rank, and that's a cumulative rank for your team. Each individual player has their own. Each team has a cumulative rank that they compete against one another, and then each win is tallied, each loss is tallied, and you kind of climb or don't from there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Can people watch these tournaments?
Yeah, so it depends on if your school is hosting the stream, which is on Twitch usually. We do have our own Twitch channel. It's esports. It's Messiah Esports on Twitch, so you would just go and search us there. Otherwise, sometimes the broadcast tournament organizers, they'll have their own streams too. So Blizzard or Riot might sometimes show the later rounds of the tournament on their channels. So right now, a lot of the school-based tournaments are shown, just like we have our own streams for our sports teams here, but we specifically stream our matches on Twitch.
All right. So how is success measured in each game?
That's a pretty interesting question. So I think Tim already mentioned some of the ranking system that goes into each game, which is like something that will rank your skill on a personal level. So how much you play versus other opponents, you'll get ranked up if you succeed. And in terms of your team, that cumulative rank is what measures against like your success in the tournament as you go on. So sometimes that matters. It just matters based on where you place in the tournament, if you keep winning or not. So it really just depends on what game you're playing. Usually MMR is what they use to calculate how well you're doing, and that's like a gamer reference, but if you don't know, it's fine. That's just like numbers rating how good you are. So I think the easiest way to explain it is that each game has its own rating system, and then we use that rating system in order to create ranks for our groups of teams.
Right. How often do you guys meet?
It really depends on schedule. We try to meet as a team at least once a week, but the beautiful thing about esports is that you don't have to be in the same room to play. So you can play from the comfort of your own home if you have a PC or laptop set up that can effectively run the game. So oftentimes I'll be playing with some of my other teammates daily. It's as easy as that, at least for League of Legends on that front. But we do try to play as a collaborative team of 5 at least once a week, and we're trying to build on that as we go forward.
Great. Are there any open events for people to play that are not part of the esports team?
So we are actually organizing an event on May 2nd that will feature Smash Brothers and Rocket League open tournaments. So that's something Messiah students can come in and play at. Otherwise, in general, you can go online and find plenty of open tournaments. And I know that you've played in a few, like Clash for League of Legends sometimes, right?
Yep. So they do have online setups through Riot Games, the owner of League of Legends, through Blizzard. They have kind of their private tournaments they'll perform, and we can opt in or opt out of easily. kind of come and go. It's really convenient, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So how does one go about joining the team?
So we had tryouts this year. So basically I put a feeler out in November, people responded, and then we hosted these tryouts at our practice space on campus. So that's generally the process of getting onto a team here. So there's also kind of like a short interview process where I'll talk to the players and see if they're just like a good fit for working with others. But basically your skill level and how you play in those tryout games is what dictates if you'll make the team.
Is there anything that we can look forward to this semester for you guys?
I mean, I'd really encourage people to come out for our event that we're holding. It's a really good opportunity to kind of meet some of the members of the team, understand what esports is. We're doing some info panels, info sessions there, which is cool for individuals who really don't understand esports, what that entails. So I think it's a great opportunity for people to learn and for us to kind of, meet the school, them to meet us and kind of engage.
Yeah, so May 2nd, come on down to the Student Union. It'll be all day. Games should start around noon, but it'll go on until the evening, and we'll be there to just hang out and talk esports. So you can find us on Twitch or social media otherwise at Messiah Esports, and keep in touch.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Another big thank you to Alyssa Pye and friends, as well as Caitlin Beam and Rachel McLaren from Sustainability. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to tune in next Monday for Falcon Update at 7, or check out our YouTube channel for previous campus news, interviews, and musical performances. Have a great night.